This council now becomes Committee of the Whole Council to consider Basic Housing Units Bill. Members may refer to the appendix to the script for the debate and voting arrangements for the bill. Members have been informed that the committee will conduct a joint debate on the clauses, schedule, and amendments. I now propose the question to you that the following clauses and schedules stand part of the bill: clauses 1 to 96 and schedules 1 to 4. Secretary for Housing will move amendments to amend various clauses. Members may refer to the appendix to the script for details of the amendments. Members may now proceed to a joint debate on the clauses, schedule, and amendments. I will first call upon the Secretary for Housing to speak, but she is not required to move the amendments at this stage. Then I will call upon members to speak. Upon the conclusion of the joint debate, the committee will first vote on the clauses and schedule with no amendments standing part of the bill, and then vote on the amendments. Secretary for Housing. Chairman, I'm proposing 15 amendments to the provisions of the Basic Housing Units Bill. The contents of the amendments are set out in the paper previously sent to members by the LegCo Secretariat. The amendments are proposed in response to suggestions made by members and the legal advisor during the bill's committee meetings to more clearly reflect in the bill's provisions our policy intent and improve the drafting. I am now going to give a brief description of the contents of the amendments. Regarding the amendment to Clause 2.1, we have deleted premises of the building from the proposed definition of flat. Furthermore, considering that title register is already defined in Section 2.1 of the Land Titles Ordinance, Chapter 585, we have directly included the Land Titles Ordinance's definition of title register in paragraphs A2 and B2 of the proposed definition of owner, instead of saying it is kept in the land registry under Chapter 585 to improve textual fluency. Clauses 11.2d3, 14.1c2, 18.2e4, 22.2e4, and 25.1f2 of the bill provide that where the Secretary for Housing is satisfied that there is any other reason that a registration should be cancelled, that a subdivided unit should not be recognized, that a recognition should not be renewed, or that a recognition should be cancelled, the Secretary may make the corresponding decision. We are making amendments to clearly stipulate that the reason must be reasonable to better reflect our policy intent. With the amendments to clauses 38 and 39, we are clearly stipulating that authorized officers may not require a person to provide documents or information which the person is entitled to refuse to provide on the grounds of legal professional privilege, thereby providing protection explicitly of the legal professional privilege of persons present in premises which authorized officers entered. As Clause 36.2 also empowers the Secretary to require a specified person to provide any document or information which the Secretary reasonably considers necessary for the performance of their functions, we will amend the provision to the effect that the Secretary may not require a person to provide so. These are to ensure that the relevant provisions more clearly reflect the policy intent. Also, as the wording of Clause 39.1b fails to address situations where an authorized officer's request to enter and inspect premises under Clause 38 is neither refused nor consented to by the occupier, we propose amending Clause 39.1b to provide that where an authorized officer has the power to enter and inspect premises under Clause 38 but cannot obtain the consent of the occupier and has reasonable grounds to believe that there is or may be on the premises anything that is or contains evidence of an offense under the bill, may apply a warrant from a magistrate to authorize the officer to enter and search the relevant premises. regarding the amendment to Clause 47 to enhance clarity of the definitions. We are including the definitions of legal representative, solicitor, and barrister to the list of definitions in the provision. We will also amend the existing definition of qualifying legal professional in that profession by replacing the full stop with a semicolon. Finally, regarding the amendment to Clause 39(4), as the term Section 39 warrant appears in both clauses 79 and 80, we have moved the definition from clause 79(4) to clause 2(1). The aforementioned amendments address issues raised by the Bills Committee members and incorporate certain technical revisions. The Bills Committee has no objection to the amendments. I implore members to support the proposed amendments. Thank you, Chairman. Does any member wish to speak? If not, we now first vote on the clauses and schedule with no amendments standing part of the bill. I put the question to you that the clauses and schedule with no amendments as set out in the appendix to the script stand part of bill. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the motion passed. This committee now deals with the clauses with amendments. Secretary for Housing, you may move your amendments. Chairman, I move the amendments set out in the appendix to the script. I now propose to question to you that the Secretary's amendments be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the amendments passed. Clauses 2, 11, 14, 18, 22, 25, 36, 38, 39, 47, and 79 as amended. I now put the question to you that the clauses as amended just read out by the clerk stand part of bill. With those in favor please raise their hands. Those against please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the motion passed. All the proceedings on the Basic Housing Units Bill have been concluded in Committee of the Whole Council. Council now resumes. Secretary for Housing. President, I now report to the Council that the Basic Housing Units Bill has been passed by Committee of the Whole Council with amendments. I move the motion that this Council adopts this report. I now propose the question to you that the Secretary's motion be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the motion passed.